The wind howled through the frozen valley as Laia stood before the altar, the diamond ring heavy on her finger. It had been a gift from her grandmother, an heirloom passed down through generations. "You must wear it on your wedding day," the old woman had whispered, her grip tighter than expected. "It is tradition." Now, in the pale morning light, surrounded by her people, Laia felt a cold dread creeping into her bones. Her groom, Edric, stood across from her, his dark eyes unreadable. He had always been kind, gentle, but as she looked at him now, something felt wrong. The elder raised his hands. "Do you, Laia of the North Valley, take this man as your husband?" The ring pulsed against her skin. Then the whispers began. Soft at first, barely a breath, then rising, curling around her ears like the wind itself. "Don't say yes." Laia's breath hitched. She flicked her eyes around the gathered villagers, but no one else reacted. No one else seemed to hear it. "Laia!" a woman's voice rasped, closer now. She turned her head, just slightly, enough to see the reflection in the polished wedding chalice by the altar. Her own face stared back at her, and behind her, a woman in a tattered white dress, skin pale as ice, hollow eyes, lips barely moving as she whispered, "He is not a man." Laia stiffened. "Say the vow, Laia," Edric murmured, taking her hand. His fingers were ice, his grip too strong. The elder was waiting. The villagers watched. The wind pressed against her ears, but the whispers rose above it. "He takes a new bride every winter, and we never leave." She felt the weight of them now. The other brides, their sorrow clinging to the ring. She could feel them, trapped. Her heart pounded. She looked up at Edric, at the way his breath didn't fog in the cold air, at the way the light bent wrong around him, the way his grip tightened just a little too much. She thought of the others, and she made her choice. Laia ripped the ring from her finger. The diamond cracked, and the valley screamed. The air turned heavy, thick with rushing voices. The spirits surged from the ring, their translucent forms swirling like a blizzard. Edric staggered back, his face twisting, not with pain, but rage. His form flickered, a hollow shadow of something older than any man. The snow beneath him cracked. "No!" he snarled, reaching for her, but the hands of the dead grabbed him first. Laia watched, breathless, as he was pulled into the ice, swallowed by the very ground beneath their feet. His scream echoed once, then silence. The wind died. The whispers faded. Laia stood alone before the altar, the shattered ring at her feet. The villagers were gone. Had they ever been there, or had they too been part of the bargain? She turned and walked away, leaving the ring buried in the snow, and with it, the curse of the bride's bargain. That, dear listeners, was the bride's bargain. If you enjoyed this tale and want more stories from the shadows, like and subscribe. Also hit that bell so you never miss an episode of Whispers of the Woods. Until next time, stay warm, stay safe, and beware the bargains you make.